Runners have been called towards the tape and they're off to a first timer. They're off and racing the Crabbies Grand National 2016. And as they stream down towards the first fence, Saint R is one of the first to show, along with Silvinaco Conti. Double Ross is also pretty prominent. The Rev and last year's winner Many Clouds aren't too far away. Then came Rocky Creek and Gooniella and Wonderful Charm, and they're about to rise at the first.
And it will be Saint R and Double Ross who will share the lead as they go over the first of the 30 fences. All the leaders are safely over. We do have one down. Hadrian's Approach has gone at fence 1 and seated the rider. On towards fence number 2, and Double Ross will have the lead over Saint R, who's crossed it in second place. And First Lieutenant is down, and Holywell is down at the back of the field. So 3 have gone as they come towards fence number 3. Arkin making ground towards the outside, and Arkin will lead the Romford Pelly, who jumped that one in second place, and they've all safely got over the open ditch, and quickly they go towards fence number 4, and it is Arkin followed by the Romford Pelly, and then Double Ross who jumps that fence in third position. Saint R was over in fourth. The Druid's Nephew made a mistake.
Many Clouds has got a good position on the inside running rail in the sheepskin noseband, about 7th or 8th. He's tracked there by Le Rev, Silviniaco, Conti and Katenko upsides him as they take the fence before Beechers. Arkin was the leader over it, not on landing from the Druid's Nephew, who's 2/3 of the way back, and Home Farm was slightly hampered by a loose horse. And now they make their way down towards Beechers. It's Arkin from the Romford Pelé, Double Ross and R. The Last Samurai in a noseband. Rule the World with a blue cap. Arkin the first to take off and land, jumps it well. Leaders get out over it safely. Bad mistake by Vic's canvas. Somehow he managed to keep his feet. On towards Foynehaven they go. They're being led by Arkin from Double Ross and the Romford Pelé. The Last Samurai and St R. Many Clouds has got a good position on the inside. Rule the World and Katenko, Silviniaco, Conti, Le Rev shut the front door. Morning Assembly, Pendra, Gil Gamboa and Gooniella in midfield as they come to the canal turn. Arkin goes to it just ahead of Double Ross. They take off and land together. The Romford Pelé is unseated there when tracking the leaders, watching the stragglers go over it. On his own is well back with Home Farm, the Druid's Nephew, just a par, and Cruz Lennon as they take Valentine's.
It was Double Ross and Arkin who were the first 2 over Valentine's, at which all the leaders jumped it safely. On his own made a mistake at the back of the field. He's last but 1, and Home Farm is the back marker. Still right there on the inside is Many Clouds, who's going to jump the next fence in around about 5th or 6th place. Once again all the leaders safely over. Union East made quite a bad mistake, so it is Arkin who leads them now on towards the open ditch. 2 in second place is Double Ross, and then Saint R is in 3rd, and the Last Samurai jumped it in 4th. Shut the front door was over in 5th. There was a mistake by Gooniella, and also a mistake right out the back of the field by Cruz Linen, who is struggling, and also a mistake, and pulling up immediately is Rocky Creek, who's out of the race. It's Arkin who leads them over the fence before the Melling Road. He's gone clear by a couple of lengths as the others stream over it, and they go back towards the grandstand with Arkin out in front, followed by Double Ross, and then on the outside is Saint R. Back in 4th is the Last Samurai, and then Many Clouds, who's had a good trip to this point.
He certainly has. The field at the moment, though, being led by Arkin, and Henry Brooke having his 4th ride in the Grand National, just slightly hampered, though, by the loose horse at that point. He's got him back on track, though, now. Arkin here with Double Ross on the inside. Saint R, last year's runner-up between them. And then close up behind is the Last Samurai, followed by last year's winner, Many Clouds, in a handy 5th at this point. And then shut the front door, followed by Rule the World and Le Rev. Then Gil Gamboa and Pendra next, ahead of Vic's canvas, who made that bad mistake at Beechers. Next in the field then is Katenko. Then came Bally Casey as they come towards the 13th fence. Arkins was still the leader there over that. From Saint R in 2nd, Double Ross in 3rd. The Last Samurai back in 4th, and then shut the front door. Followed by Rule the World and Gil Gamboa. Silvinaco Conti is going to be pulled up before the 14th. Silvinaco Conti is out of the race as the rest of the field get over the 14th okay, and now head the way towards the chair, preceded by a loose horse. It's Saint R, Many Clouds, Arkin, the Last Samurai. Just ahead has shut the front door, then came Rule the World and Gil Gamboa. From Vic's canvas and Gallant Oscar, then Le Rev, and behind these Gooniella as they take the chair now. Looking back through the field, we've got a couple down at the back there. It looks like Sir Deschamps has gone at the chair, and we've also got another one down on my own has gone as well. As they take the water, Saint R just landed in the lead there. from Arkin in second. A bad mistake there from Black Thunder at the back of the field as Saint-Tar led the national field. From Many Clouds in second and Arkin back in third. Then came Le Red just in front of Double Ross and the Last Samurai and shut the front door. Then came Vix Canvas and Rule the World from Gil Gamboa and Gallant Oscar, then Gudiella, Uccello Conti, and then Pendra, followed by Triolo Delane and Verlion Rouge. Cruz Linen is next on the inside, and then came One Night in Vienna, followed closely by Just the Par and then Union East, and further back to Ballynagora, Wonderful Charm and Bally Casey as they approach now the next, the 17th.
Saint-Tar out very wide, with towards the inside Many Clouds, and between them is the Last Samurai, and those who were the first three as they cross over the next. The leader Saint-Tar made a mistake, Bally Casey made a mistake, Bywise made a mistake, Home Farm is tailing off, the Druid's Nephew is tailed off, Sol is struggling badly as they go over the next plain one, and it was the Last Samurai, Many Clouds and Saint-Tar the first three. There was a very, very bad mistake by Gallant Oscar, whose rider is now about to be unseated before the next, which is the Open Ditch, and Many Clouds has jumped to the lead in the Grand National. Over Last Samurai took it in second, Uccello Conti made a mistake, Ballynagora has unseated his rider back in the field as they go on now towards the next plain one, and it's the Last Samurai and Many Clouds the first two, followed by Le Rêve, who's now making ground on the inside with Saint-Tar next.
So Many Clouds as they run down towards the fence before Beechers alongside the Last Samurai. Last year's runner-up Saint-Tar is Handy. Then on the inside Le Rêve, followed over by Double Ross, who jumped up well. Rule the World is just behind the leader. Sol is pulled up. The Druid's Nephew is being pulled up. Wonderful Charm has also been pulled up at the back of the field. The leaders make the run down towards Beechers, and it's the Last Samurai from Many Clouds, Double Ross, Le Rêve, Verlion Rouge making a bit of ground on the inside. Vix Canvas. Leaders get over it safely. Uccello Conti making ground on the inside. Lost one towards the rear of the field. Katenko came down there as well. And also One Night in Vienna. Arkin has been pulled up. Over the Point Avon they go. Many Clouds leading them as they now head towards the canal turn for the Last Samurai. Verlion Rouge and Le Rêve right behind the leaders with Vix Canvas. Saint-Tar has lost a couple of positions, and then Double Ross and Rule the World and shut the front door, and Gil Gamboa. Uccello Conti and Morning Assembly out over the canal turn. The leaders go, they get over it safely. Triolo Delane makes a mistake. Back in the field, Cruz Linen is last of those still going as the leaders now head towards Valentine's, led by Many Clouds.
Black Thunder was another one who was pulled up. Home Farm was also being pulled up, and it is now the Last Samurai who leads. Many Clouds in second, Le Rêve is in third, Vix Canvas now racing in fourth. Shut the front door is trying to make ground. Verlion Rouge is next as they go over the next, and Many Clouds makes a bad mistake. Pulling up at the back of the field is Double Ross, a bad mistake when tailed off by Union East. So it is now the Last Samurai. The one who's out very wide is Morning Assembly, who's right there on the premises as they go over the Open Ditch, and a bad mistake there, a shuddering error by Rule the World. Pulling up at the back of the field is Cruz Linen, so they've got three to jump in the Grand National, and the leader is the Last Samurai. Two in second place, Vix Canvas. Many Clouds is on the inside, Morning Assembly towards their outside. They're then being followed by Gil Gamboa. The grey Bally Casey is trying to make ground. Le Rêve now begins to weaken as they cross over the Melling Road with two fences to take in the National. It's Morning Assembly towards the outside of the Last Samurai, and there, right on the inside, back in third, is Vix Canvas.
So they're on the way towards two out in the National. The Last Samurai with a small lead from out wide and Morning Assembly. Vix Canvas, the veteran, is right there with every chance, but slightly squeezed up against the rail. Many Clouds is under pressure next, and then came Gil Gamboa as they work down towards the penultimate fence, and it's the Last Samurai who shows the way under David Bass from Vix Canvas. Morning Assembly, Rule the World and Gil Gamboa. Then came Uccello Conti, followed by Many Clouds, who's hard under pressure. Then Verlion Rouge at two from the end. The Last Samurai rose the leader from Vix Canvas in second, Rule the World back in third, then Gil Gamboa. Bally Casey is gone in behind those at the second last as they come to the final fence, and Vix Canvas joins several now with the Last Samurai. Over in third, Rule the World, Gil Gamboa in fourth, then Uccello Conti and Verlion Rouge now the running ahead of them, and Vix Canvas draws alongside the Last Samurai. Rule the World is staying on to the outside, Gil Gamboa back in fourth. They approach the elbow, three with a chance. Vix Canvas toward the rail, the Last Samurai in the centre, and here's Rule the World on the outside, who's coming home strongest of all, and it's Rule the World, the horse who's never previously won a race over fences. He's going to run the biggest one of them all here, and it's Rule the World who wins the National for Mouse Morris, and a dream first ride for 19-year-old David Mullins. Rule the was third. Then Gil Gamboa clear from Guniella. Then Uccello Conti, the Leon Rouge. Morning Assembly shut the front door. Then Union East, Le Rêve and Bywides.
What a dream day for young David Mullins. He has won the Grand National on his first attempt at the big race on Rule the World for Mouth Morris, who was so associated with the likes of the last of the Brownies back in the late 80s and early 90s. He hasn't yet had a Grand National winner, but he has now in his second season novice Rule the World, second in the Irish National last season, now the winner of the 2016 Crabbis Grand National. What a day for David Mullins. I bet he can hardly believe it. It was a fantastic finish. Then second was the Last Samurai for David Bass and Kim Bailey, running really well, this progressive horse, and David Bass must have thought at one point they had got the race run. And a huge run also from Vix Canvas for Dermot McLaughlin, who was having his first runner in the race. Robbie Dermot was having his first ride in the race, and it was those three that fought out what was a thrilling finish.
Wasn't it? Just three in line coming to the elbow, and well, in the end, the maiden no more.
Absolutely, and it was an old-fashioned Grand National in many ways, including replete with the worry about the elbow and are they all going to get round it.
I said watching it with Jonathan. He went the right angle, didn't he? He had a straight line at it. I think for 1 minute, oh no, please don't go left there. The horse in third, but in the end, he's really stayed, hasn't he? And that was hard work today. That was really hard work. He's a thorough stayer.
Yes, he really is. He's toughed it out really well, and as you say, David Mullins got the angle really right for the elbow. He went round it with no problem, and he looms up on the outside of the Last Samurai and goes past him like a horse with a huge amount of stamina. I think in fourth it's Gil Gamboa who's stuck on for fourth, isn't it?
I think it might be. I mean, the runner-up has been there right from the start, and the third, I was all but down at Beech's first time round. I couldn't believe that he was still being pulled there.
Well, Michael O'Leary, Chicken said, has won a Gold Cup, and now they've won a Grand National. He is with Tom.
Michael, you've won the Grand National. How does that feel?
Just